Okay, so the next exercise is a posterior reach. This exercise is really good for anybody that sits behind a desk, it's tight through the hip flexors. It's a really good one for runners. It's quite a functional movement pattern for runners. For this one, it teaches you to open up the hips, activate the core and activate the glutes all at the same time. And by doing this is actually going to save your lower back, especially for those that are suffering from any lower back issues at the moment. So how you'd set yourself up, just to start off with, go feet hip width apart, make sure that they're straight ahead, and you can use a wall behind you as a guide. It's not needed, but it is a nice way to just get an idea on how far you can go. So the idea is to push the hips forward, and as you push the hips forward you squeeze the glutes and you make sure that your core is on. If you've done those three things at the same time, then you should never feel the lower back. Okay, if you're feeling the lower back, then we're not activating either the glutes or the core. So again, we push the hips forward and we tighten the glutes and we work the core. So what we want to do from here is we're going to have the arms up, and as we push the hips forward, squeeze the glutes, tighten the core, we're going to reach those arms to the back and we can reach them towards the wall. And that way you can use that as a guide. So I can touch the wall here pretty comfortably. I'm still squeezing my glutes and my core. I'm not feeling it through the lower back. And I can feel my hips opening slightly. And I can also feel that my feet are, it's like they're corkscrewing through the ground. So they're quite sturdy. My knees are tracking really nicely. So I've moved forward a little bit just to see how much further I can go. We're still getting a nice open. I'm not putting too much strain on the body, especially the lower back. I've still got the glutes activating and I've got the core on. So that's the first part of doing the posterior reach. The second one is we can start going single leg, and this is the one that's really great for runners. So if you can understand, when you're running, you're always on one leg and you want to be nice and open through the hips and nice and tall. The core always on, and we don't want to lose the glutes while we're running. So we can go both hands again or single arm. But we're going to go pushing the hips forward and then squeezing the glutes. So if we've got that nice, then the next thing we can do with the grounded leg is we actually slide that forward. So we push it forward and at the same time squeeze the glutes and keep the core on. And that's again is another way that you can gauge how far you're going and how much you're improving every single time. So that I think is a really good way to kind of start training for running, really start getting mobile through the hips, and that way you're not going to get the lower back issues that you do while you're running, but also you're going to be activating the core. Even when you're tired, you know that you've got to keep that on. So give it a try and let us know how you go.